Write down your ideas. Today we're talking about the one simple change, the one simple habit that you can create for yourself that's going to completely change your universe. That's coming up. Hello and welcome to Your Creative Push, the podcast and the YouTube channel that's all about helping you to pursue your creative passions and to live your best creative life. I'm Youngmin Brown, and today we're talking about one of the most important lessons that I've learned through my 4-year journey of Your Creative Push, and it's the notion of writing down your ideas. We're not talking about journaling. We're not talking about writing down what you're grateful for or anything like that. We're talking about the simple idea of getting an idea and putting it down on paper or putting it in your phone or just capturing it. So it's easy advice, but it's also my belief system. And I believe that if you stay to the end of this video, you will have this belief system too. This simple act of taking the things that are in your brain and putting them down on paper, capturing them, will change your universe. And here are 5 reasons why. Now, the first reason is probably the most obvious, and it's the fact that once you develop a habit of writing all of your ideas down, you'll no longer forget them. You'll no longer lose them. Now, I personally believe that ideas and inspiration come from somewhere else. They come from the universe, and they come in spurts, these surges of inspiration. Perhaps you feel that way too, like your best work seems to come from somewhere else. You get in the flow state and you're like, wow, did I just create that? But whether you believe that ideas come from the universe in surges or not, I think we can all agree that they sometimes come at random times, and they often come at bad times. Whether you're just about to fall asleep, whether you're at the movies, you're at a party, you're in the shower, whatever it may be, they always seem to come at inopportune times when you're not sitting down ready for inspiration to come. So that's why you have to have the habit of plucking those ideas out whenever they come. When you're at a party, whip out your phone, write them down. If you're driving, get your voice memo, get it down. The important thing is that you take it from your brain and you put it down somewhere else to capture it. That way you'll never lose your ideas again. Now, the second reason why writing your ideas down is going to change your life is that you are actually making this thing real. You are turning your idea from this abstract thing that's in your head, and you're birthing it into the world as a tangible thing, even if it is just the idea, even if it is just a single sentence, even if it is just a couple words. You're taking that first step into actually bringing this thing into the real world and making it a real thing. Often I have an idea about creativity that I'll write down in a notepad, or I'll make a voice memo about it, and I find myself talking about it on the podcast a couple days later, just for the simple act of me talking it out. There's science behind this, and the repetitive action of doing something, writing something down over and over again, even if it is just writing it down once, uses a different part of your brain so that you can actually not just tangibly have it on paper, but you can have it in your mind circulating. You've made it into a thing instead of just a thought like, oh, I need to go to the grocery store today. Oh, I need to write the next best novel. Oh, there's the idea for the next best novel. Instead of these like churning, flowing thought processes that we always have, you're plucking it out, bringing it into the real world, making it a real thing, but also being able to remember it later on, or when you get additional ideas to bring in, to mesh into what it's going to eventually become. So the actual act of writing it down has a different brain process, a different thought process that's going to bring that thing into the real world with you for a much longer period of time than if you just let it float through your head. Now, one of the best benefits that you can get from developing this new habit of writing down your ideas is the fact that you're going to get so many more ideas as a result. Now, if we want to go back to my analogy of the universe giving you these surges of inspiration, consider this. The universe gives everybody surges of inspiration, but the people that actually take those surges and recognize them and take those ideas and birth them into the actual world, those people are going to get more surges because the universe sees you actually writing your ideas down and utilizing what it gives you. So it's going to give you more. And if that's too woo-woo for you, I understand, but it could just be you yourself, seeing yourself writing the ideas down, developing that habit, and then you start to see things from a different lens where you're looking at everything as an idea or a potential idea. Now, as you're collecting all of those ideas and more ideas are coming to you, you might even see this as a bad thing, that you have an overwhelming amount of ideas. And some of them you might already recognize aren't going to be good ideas, or you don't even know where they're going to go. But my advice to you is to keep them all anyway, to keep a bank of your creative ideas. So if they're on your phone, take them off of your phone and have some sort of master document, maybe on your computer or even on your phone, somewhere where you have your entire bank of ideas, so that the next time you face creative block, you have somewhere to go. So take solace in the fact that it's okay to hoard all of your ideas. Just keep them safe, keep them secure for the day that you need them. Now, like we just talked about, most of the time our ideas aren't ready for us, not for years. But sometimes our ideas are plump and ready to be eaten right away. And this is a great experience that you will only get if you have the habit of writing down your ideas. As you write down that first initial thought, you get another thought, and suddenly this web of ideas starts to spread, and you're furiously trying to keep up with your thoughts. You're still in that pipeline, that creative pipeline from the universe, and you're still in that flow state. And before you know it, you've written down this entire outline, or for a concept, for a story, or for a series of photographs, or for an entire painting, or for a symphony, or whatever it is that you do. So because you were on call and ready to bring in any and all ideas, the universe gives you a good one that's ready, and you're able to get going when the universe says to get going. When the universe says it's time to get in flow, you are ready to flow. So I hope you see that, yes, writing your ideas down is very simple advice, but it's not about capitalizing every once in a while. When you have the time to sit down, to get to your creative passion, and you wait for inspiration to strike, you wait to get that idea, and then you write it down. It's about implementing your creative identity into your life at all times. When your subconscious is always on alert for new ideas, you're going to see the world in a different way, in a better way, in a more curious and a more insightful way. And your subconscious is also going to always be processing your creative problems in the background and always looking for solutions. And I promise you, if you have this habit, you will find those solutions, and you'll find a lot of new questions too that you never even thought to ask. So if you've watched this far and you're still not convinced, I beg of you to try this for at least 30 days. Write down all of your ideas and see what happens. I promise you that it's going to change your creative process and also the way that you see the world. Give yourself that chance to be an investigative reporter for your creativity. If you want some more advice about writing and journaling and some of the tools that you can use to help you along that journey, definitely subscribe, because I have those videos in the pipeline. And if you want some advice on how to talk to your creative blocks through the act of writing, click the link above, and I'll see you in that video.